People of the State of Michigan versus David Brooks Jones, 2123649. Mr. Jones is here appearing by video today with his attorney, Mr. Knopfinger, and the prosecutors, Mr. Marvin. Set for a status conference today. Mr. Knopfinger, today I received an amended information from the prosecutor adding a new charge of use of methamphetamine, which is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year and or a fine of up to $2,000, and the court shall impose license sanctions pursuant to the statute upon a conviction. Any objection to that being filed?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, so I'm told that this matter is resolved with a plea. So Mr. Jones, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, what's the offer, Mr. Marvin?
The offer will be to plead to an amended count 3, which is use of methamphetamine, and counts 1 and 2 will be dismissed.
Is that correct, Mr. Knopfinger?
It is, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Jones, the offer in the case is that they would dismiss the charge of possession of methamphetamine and its drug double, which would be punishable by up to 20 years in the Department of Corrections and or a fine of up to $30,000, along with the driving while license suspended, denied, or revoked second offense, which is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year and or a fine of up to $1,000. If you were to plead to a charge of use of methamphetamine, that is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year and or a fine of up to $2,000, and the court shall impose license sanctions pursuant to the statute. Is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes.
Are you currently on probation or parole anywhere?
No, I'm not, Your Honor.
And so then how do you plead to the charge of use of methamphetamine?
Guilty.
Has anyone promised anything other than what we've talked about in court today to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Anybody threaten you to make you do so?
No.
Are you doing this of your own free will?
Yeah.
And you understand that if I accept your plea, you'll not have a trial of any kind, that you'll be giving up the right to have had a trial. Those include the right to be tried by a jury, to be presumed innocent, to have the prosecutor prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty, to have the witnesses that come to court and testify in court, to cross-examine those witnesses, to have any witnesses you want to appear, to the court order them to appear. You'd have the right to remain silent and to not have that silence used against you. And you'd also have the right to testify if you wish to testify. You understand you're giving up all those rights?
Yes.
And you understand that if your plea is accepted, you may be giving up certain defenses that could have been raised if you went to trial, and that any conviction and sentence pursuant to the plea would be by leave and not by right. You understand that?
Yes.
All right, so it says that on October 12th, 2020, you were in Lockport Township, the county of St. Joseph in the state of Michigan. Is that true?
Yes.
And that you had been using methamphetamine. Is that also true?
Yes.
And are counsel satisfied there's a factual basis?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are either counsel aware of any other promises, threats, or inducements?
No.
No,
Has the court complied with the court rule?
Yes.
it has.
All right, thank you. I find the plea made as knowingly, understandingly, and voluntarily given. There's a factual basis. So, Mr. Marvin, Mr. Jones was arrested December 26th, posted bond the 28th. I posted a surety bond, paid quick bail bond some money. What else would you like me to know in terms of sentencing?
You want me to go first?
No, I want Mr. Marvin to make his suggestion first.
Yeah, Your Honor, I would ask that you just impose fines and costs, but I would like the court to know and the defendant to know, defense to know that this is really an opportunity, just like he's had in the past, including the 7411 that was used and some other plea deals in the past. And what's unique about this is we haven't seen meth show up yet, and meth is a special problem we've got. Right now is the time to address that. So I hope that this opportunity for a use starts that process.
Thank you, Mr. Marvin. Mr. Knopfinger?
Yeah, thank you, Honor. Just a little bit more about Mr. Jones. He does receive disability, and so he's on a fixed income. He does do some odds and ends around. He does some mechanic work there where he lives. He has people who help him in his life. He has been able, with some difficulty, to be able to attend NAAA classes online during the pandemic. He does have a CMH appointment here on the 15th of this month that he will attend. I would ask the court to, I agree with the prosecutor, I ask the court to waive any discretionary fees and costs given his financial situation.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Anything you'd like to add?
And that's pretty much it.
Okay, all right. All right, I'll follow the recommendations. And again, Mr. Jones, you understand that it's a unique time, and this is an opportunity for you to get this case resolved, but that you need to address this issue of the use that's going on.
I don't even go around the same people I used to.
Okay,
So
good. And there are
that's a good start.
Yeah, it is. And there's a lot of resources online now. So if you have difficulty, getting somewhere, you can do it online. There's all around the world. You can go to any meeting you want. So that's good. All right, I will order 2 days, credit 2 days served. Mandatory state cost of $50, mandatory crime victims' rights fee of $75. I won't order any additional court cost fines or attorney's fees. Your license has to be suspended. I'll indicate it's suspended 1 year, 2 months no driving whatsoever, 10 months restricted. Now I know you already have a suspended license, so I'm not giving you a license and saying it's now suspended. I'm saying there's an additional suspension. Now this statutory suspension will end on October 1st, and the Secretary of State will let you know. You need to let the Secretary of State know your current address. In reviewing this file, we had 3 different addresses for you, and you've been moving around without notifying the court. So we've got your most current address, but you also have to let the Secretary of State know what your address is, and the rest. So what we'll be doing is sending you this judgment, and also a reminder about this order for fingerprints that was ordered back in December that you need to get done so that this case can be resolved, okay? So we'll send that to that address that you just give, and it's minimum fines, costs, and then already the jail time that you already did. All right, good luck to you, Mr. Jones, and that concludes our hearing for the day. Thank you.